Welcome everybody. Um Today I'm going to reveal one of the biggest mysteries everyone's always wondered about. I actually have good news for everybody because our work is almost done. I have good news. I have good news. Yes, I do. Now listen to this, guys. Let me tell you what's going on here. So this video, it's mainly gonna be revealing what death is. On the side note of when I explain what death is, I'm actually going to explain some other side stuff on the side, but I need you guys to understand, if you don't believe what I'm going to tell you, that's fine. Everybody should get their own evidence for their own self, and that's the thing, you know. It's one thing to know what evidence is and what evidence is not, because a lot of times people, they don't know what evidence is. Like, it's very easy to mistake what you think evidence could be, but even though, like, you may think something is evidence and evidential to you and evident, doesn't mean that it's evidence. Alright? That's the biggest problem with a lot of people in this world, is they think that they have evidence, but evidence is to know and to not know. So all evidence, people have more and less evidence than they actually believe, because evidence is not as complicated as people are making it out to be. Alright? It's like, what you do know, that's evidence. What you don't know, that is not evidence. Period. Alright? So, you know, what you do know, you know what you know. What you don't know, you know what you don't know. So that's what makes it so easy to know, like, what you have evidence of and what you don't have evidence of. Okay? Alright. Now, you need to understand, God works in a way where he's got to make everything evident. Alright? Because that's the way everybody wants it. Everybody wants to be able to know, like, the truth. Like, oh, are we always going to exist? Does God know all things? So God has to make it evident. Alright? The biggest thing that people don't realize is atheists. It's fine to be an atheist for a certain amount of time. You know, as soon as you discard enough evidence and you're sitting there still being an atheist, it's a problem, because you're not understanding your evidence. Alright, now let me explain to you what the problem of atheism is between scientific logic. Alright, so scientific logic, all God expects out of people is to base everything on of what's evident and what people can see. Alright? So it's like, if you can't see something, and if you don't know something isn't fucking 100% fact, it's not evident, right? So 99% of all this shit people make up, there's no evidence. There's nothing that has evidence to support what it is that they're making up. Alright? And it's fine to come up with ideas and stuff, but it's one thing to say, hey, I got the evidence of this, and then to not have evidence. Alright? First of all, nobody has evidence that there's not a God. Alright? Let me explain to you why. Don't jump the gun so quickly. Alright? Now let me explain something. Alright, we exist in time. We have infinite amounts of time, because we're not God. We don't know all things, all right? So we're always going to have more stuff to know. So first of all, not even I know everything, all right? I know it comes off like I talk like I know everything or whatever, but I just so happen to have evidence to break into certain things that we need to get into on our next thing. Now, listen. Nobody has evidence that there's no God, all right? Because it's not evident, all right? If there was not a God, there would not be anything. That's how we would have evidence that there's not a God. Okay? What we do have evidence of though, however, which is almost one and the same thing, but it's different. All right. First of all, we don't have evidence that there's not a God because something exists. Therefore, if something exists, we have evidence to assume that there is a God, all right? Because it's evident. Because we have to assume that if anything exists, that there's a possibility that there's a God, period. All right? So if there wasn't any evidence that anything existed, then we can conclude there is no God because there would not be any evidence, okay? So I'm going to make this clear to everybody. I don't care how you want to try to label any of this. There is no proof that there is not a God, okay? It's impossible to get any evidence that there's not a God. However, it is possible to conclude that there's evidence that God is not here, okay? Now you need to understand that's two different things. Of God not being at this location and God not existing. It's two different things. Alright, because if somebody doesn't exist, then they can't ever go to a location. Alright, so if he's just at a different location, that still means he exists. But he's in a different location. Remember, God is somebody that can move around and fucking go to anywhere he fucking wants to go to, right? So we do have evidence that he's not here. So now we need to fucking get more evidence of why isn't God here? Alright, so first of all, I've already, of course, cracked the case. That's why I make it look so simple. And I'm getting ready to have everything proven. But the thing is, it's all about evidence, okay? If you don't have evidence, there's nothing to judge. Alright, period. If you do not have evidence against something, there's nothing for you to judge. I mean, it's fine if you want to judge whatever you want, but it's not going to be anything that needs to be written down as a factual note. It's just something you can ponder. It's your own idea. It's not something to fucking... It's something that doesn't matter because some stuff matters, some stuff doesn't matter, right? Alright, so period. That's just the way it is. Alright, now listen, let me explain something. If there is no evidence to suggest that there is anything against something, then it doesn't matter. There's nothing to judge. If there is evidence that there is something, that there could be a problem with something, it's something you can judge, alright? If something appears to have a problem, it's something you can judge. Alright, that's the thing going on with the Creator. That's something for nobody to judge, alright? You can't judge that. I can't judge that. Nobody can. Only God. That's His business. To always exist, that's not for us to judge, right? Obviously, there was never a problem with Him always existing, so there's nothing for us to judge. And that's what the problem that we're experiencing right now is. Lucifer's trying to judge the creator, alright? So that's what the fuck everyone's so confused about, alright? That's not for you to judge. It's not for me to judge. It's not for Lucifer to judge if God had a beginning, because it's evident, alright? When God is right there in front of us, that's all the evidence we need to know that he had no beginning. There is nothing else to prove, alright? He doesn't need to fucking send you a video clip of him fucking quadrillion, bazillion, fucking bazillion years ago. Like Lucifer fucking wants him to do, and like all you fucking idiots want him to do, is provide more evidence. Well, guess what? There's no reason for God to fucking do that, alright? It's already evident enough. He's already provided all the evidence that we ever need that he always existed and that he's infinite, alright? There's nothing to prove. There's nothing to judge, alright? So, all you people that are fucking sitting there trying to fucking say, I want to see proof, go grab a fucking telescope and look at the fucking stars, alright? There you go. You're seeing for yourself, alright? Because guess what? It's already evident that if anything exists, it's possible that there's going to be a God. Because if there was not anything that existed, that right there, that proves that there's no God. That's the only evidence that we can take as something that we can know that there's not a God, alright? If something does not exist, we now have evidence that, shit, there is no God, alright? Well, guess what? Every time you blink your fucking eyes, there's a fucking something in front of you. So, everything always exists, alright? We don't have evidence that nothing exists. Until somebody can prove that nothing exists, alright? Until someone can prove to me that my eyes aren't fucking seeing what I'm seeing and that it doesn't exist and it's not real, we can only conclude that it's possible, alright? That's our option. We can either conclude that it's possible or not possible. So in my opinion, it's possible because something exists. I've reduced the formula. I made it easy for us. Now let me explain what death is. Because, for God's sake, the damn devil had us. He's scared us long enough with this bullshit that I need to help you people out. First of all, death isn't as bad as everybody thinks that it is, okay? God set everything up in a way where he had to cancel out 50% of how we were going to exist because the devil's trying to rule over existence, so he's trying to cancel out the way stuff is supposed to be. That's why it's half and half. So God had to be like, alright, well, you need to know a certain amount of shit if you guys plan on existing. Because if we didn't fucking pay attention to the half of the stuff that God had to cancel out in the universe, Lucifer would have fucking, we would have ignored it, and Lucifer would have captured us, okay? So God had to fucking break down of half of the stuff we need to know and half of the stuff we don't need to know. Alright? So, it just so happens that half of the stuff that God had to limit for us in order to make it so we could fucking become successful, he had to make it so that we die. Alright? As scary as it sounds, and as mysterious as it is, it's the most misunderstood thing that anyone is ever going to understand or know until right now. I'm finally setting this shit straight. Now, let me explain to you. Let me explain. Alright, this is just what it is. I'm a genius, alright? I studied, I figured this out. God's going to fucking come back down. He's going to be right next to me proving that, I'm presenting evidence, I'm presenting fact, because we're done with this bullshit. Why do you think this is only going to happen one time that we're sitting here so confused? I'm finally the one that's breaking and ending the puzzle. This is a puzzle, alright? You guys should have known that God expected us to figure this out, All right, it was only a matter of time before we figured out what we needed to know in order for us to break through death. All right, and I just figured out what. First of all, you need to know that Jesus, God's Son, is the one who conquered death. All right. Now I'm just gonna go into the more knowledge of what death is and reveal what's gonna happen with the whole process of death. As far as death, I don't have any control over death. All right, I only know information about it. That's all I'm going to say. I only know information about it. Whether or not you fucking believe this or not, I don't care. Why the fuck do I care? I don't expect for you to believe what I believe. So why would I expect for you to believe what I believe? You know, if you want to take what I believe is fact and do your own evidence, go for it. I don't care. And guess what? If you want to tell me and try to tell me that I should believe something other than what I'm going to present, I don't care. No one is going to tell me anything otherwise because I've already done my research. I've already done more work than all you people out there. So I don't need nobody. I don't expect for somebody to try to come correct the way I think. Just like I don't expect for me to correct the way you think. It's like, this is up to you. If you want to fucking be corrected on the way you think and listen to what I'm telling you, it's your choice. You can take the evidence that I show you and you can believe it, or you know what, you can take the evidence I show you and you can put it on the side and say, hey, that's not evidence. Fine. It's not. Guess what? What you expect is not what I expect. So guess what? If you end up dying next week, how does that affect me? That doesn't harm me. That doesn't affect me. Why would I care what you believe or what you don't believe? All right. Same thing with me. I don't expect for you to believe what I believe unless you just so happen to believe what I believe. It's your choice. It's everybody's own choice to believe whatever the fuck they want to believe. Now listen, I'm just presenting the evidence. Now listen, Jesus conquered death. Now I'm going to reveal the knowledge and revelation behind death. So God balanced the whole universe down to 50-50. He had to balance out half of the things that he needed us to learn. So he needed us to learn to take care of ourselves. Why do you think that we rot and we die and decay? Because it's something we need to learn. It's something that we needed to be. It needed to be evident to us that we need to take care of ourselves. Because if we did not take into evidence, and if it didn't become evident to us that we needed to take care of ourselves and to protect ourselves and that we could be damaged, then we would be fucking destroyed. Because if you don't learn information, if you don't protect yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, you will not exist. That is the moral. That's why God had to balance it. Like, he had to make it so it's like, if you crash your vehicle and your fucking head gets chopped off, you know, it matters, all right? Because it has to be evident. Because if God made it so, like, we could do anything we wanted and nobody got harmed, we would fuck ourselves. Because people would be putting people in dungeons, torturing people to no end. And that's the problem with that. That's why he needed to fucking be like, you guys have got to learn that this shit matters. Because he knows that it's going to fucking blow our fucking brains out. Like, if evidence can be used against us or for us, right? So it's like, if he didn't limit to how fucking far out of the box we could go with our shit, we're never gonna learn, right? That's what this is all about. This is all for us to learn what we need to know. This is all about what we need to know. So we need to know that. So first things first, let me get this over with. I've been dragging this on. You're all probably fucking hanging off the edge of your seat wondering, what the fuck is it already? Alright, let me tell you guys what this is. Death Sleep is the cousin of death. So first of all, death is something that everybody should look forward to. And it's something that everybody's going to enjoy. It's because God had to overrule the devil. He had to create over what the devil was going to do. So it was God's way. Why do you think every single day we sleep? Is because it's God's way of preparing us for death. It's His way of it's all that evidence of us going to sleep and waking up and resting. It's His way to make it evident for us that death is something that we're gonna like and we're gonna need, because it's rest, and it's something that we need. All right, everybody in the past billions of the years that they've been living on this earth, they needed to die because they need to rest. All right, because we needed to collect more and more evidence against the devil. So God knows. He's like, all right, well, everyone's going to need to rest because there's going to be so much evidence that everybody needs to get against the devil before he can come judge it and set it all straight. So I finally collected the last bits of evidence against the devil, and I can get the Creator to come do judgment against him through His Son and through His power, because I have evidence against the devil. Why do you think the devil is able to fucking eternally torment people? It's because he has evidence against the people that's what they didn't care. So he has evidence against them. If the devil gets evidence against you, you're fucked. And that's what he's been doing, is he's been getting evidence against these people and fucking them. Well, guess what? That's all God needed. That's why Jesus was saying, if somebody does the will of the Father, this shit's all over. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. The will of the Father is to put evidence against Lucifer. I don't give a fuck. No one else has to do it besides me and Jesus. I already did it. No one else. It's already going to be the way it's going to be. He's already getting turned over. No one else can. I don't give a fuck who you are. There's nothing that's going to stop that from what's going to happen, because it's the evidence. No one can overrule evidence. It's just the way it is. If there's a piece of evidence that is brought into existence, that evidence belongs to the holder. I own that evidence, all right? No one can rob that evidence from me. No one can overrule this evidence from me. It's already been turned over to God. And he's going to come and set shit straight when he comes and sets shit straight. So that's what you guys need to be excited about, is there's a very high possibility that a lot of us down here, we're not even going to need to die anymore, because we already fucking we just busted Lucifer. That's the whole point of what we need to die. That's why God had to force us to die, is because he needs to make it so that somebody can bust him and put evidence against him. And as soon as we get evidence against Lucifer, no one needs to fucking die anymore, because the fucking case is at rest. This fucking case is about to be put at rest. So I tell you guys, just hold on to your fucking seatbelts and get ready, because we're getting ready to fucking put this motherfucker on a hell ride. Alright, he's done jumped on the hell bull. He's getting ready to go on a bumpy ride, because guess what? The evidence is already turned over. There's nothing that can take it back. It's only gonna fucking, as soon as God fucking puts the evidence against Lucifer to infinite amounts of levels, he's fucked. The case is closed. So God's gonna come back and set this shit straight, and that motherfucker's out of here. So good news. This is all a puzzle game, guys. It's all done. It's all solved. He's fucked. Don't go fucking around. Just hang tight, because God is getting ready to fucking handcuff this son of a bitch, and he's giving him his last freaking few. I don't know fucking how long he's got. Who gives a shit? He's got his last time to surrender. It's just like any damn SWAT going on, alright? When somebody as soon as somebody gets evidence against them, and then somebody knows that that their whole criminal gig is going on, they always get that first knock on the door, like boom, 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 come out with your fucking hands up, or you're all gonna get fucking raided. Well, that's what just happened, because I just turned the evidence over, and they just knocked on his fucking door, and he has to turn himself in. If he doesn't turn himself in, he's fucked. So there is no choice, all right? He has to turn himself over to God, or he's fucked now. Because I already got the evidence stacked so fucking high against him, he's fucked. Like, I'm not even going to reveal all the details I know, because last thing I need is some fucking retard trying to defend the devil. The less you people fucking know to try to put in his favor, the better. All I know is I know more information than anybody is ever going to know. So you're all suicidal if you try to go on his side. And guess what? You're looking at the detective right here that's going to come get your ass. So if any one of you dumb fucks try to go fucking use what I'm going to teach you, try to use it against me, guess what? You're going to see me come get your ass. So don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. And anyway, back to the revelation of what death is. All death is remember, God knows what we want and what we like. So what does everybody love? What is our number one thing besides food? And like like encountering and talking to people that we love in our family. We love to rest. We love to rest and clear our minds, right? That's all death is. It's all for you people to rest and clear your minds, because you people are not getting your fucking evidence straight. You're not doing your goddamn research. You're not doing shit. You're sitting there letting that devil ass fuck you. Alright? Well, I done did the work for you, so sit back, let God come fucking fuck this guy up, and guess what? It's over. Alright? You guys want to know if God's real? Just hang tight. I swear to God, he's gonna blow this motherfucker's door out, and he's gonna get everybody out of the gates of hell. He's gonna set everything fucking straight. So I present to you evidence. He'll be here, alright? It's your choice whether or not you believe that evidence is real or not, alright? You already know that it's evident that it's a possibility, because we already know it's possible that there is a God, and we already know it's possible that he's going to be coming back, because we already know it's possible he exists, and we already know it's possible that he's just not right here at this location. So guess what? Sit the fuck tight and wait, because guess what? This guy is a wrap.